Thanks so much, everybody, for joining us. Really appreciate your time today. Welcome to Reimagine HCM for Acumatica, the Greenshades Advantage. My name is Mandy Haberkamp. I'm on the marketing team, and I'm thrilled to have you join us. So we know that managing your human capital management within your ERP strategy can be a little bit of a challenge. So today we're just here to share our approach to HCM that could complement your investment into Acumatica. I'm joined by my colleague, James McDowell, our senior product marketing, product marketing manager. We just hired one. I'm super excited about our product manager. James, do you want to tell us a quick thing or two about yourself?
Yeah, I'm James McDowell. I'm the senior product manager of the platform here at Greenshades, working on integrations and APIs, doing all the background work. I've done some work in this for other companies. I'm really excited to work on how we grow the Greenshades availability of our data and integration.
Nice. First off, we're going to tell you a little bit about Greenshades this afternoon. Hopefully you'll learn how Greenshades helps manage complex business requirements and your evolving compliance needs, all while reducing manual effort and staying visible across your HR and payroll tax processes. Then, after we cover a high level of Greenshades, James is going to walk us through an integration deep dive to see exactly how Greenshades connects with your Acumatica instance. And then we will walk through the product. So he'll highlight a few key workflows and features such as employee data, synchronization, self-service experiences, all of that makes Greenshades a powerful solution for Acumatica users. We specialize in HR and tax compliance that integrate directly with Acumatica. We focus on streamlining your processes, automating that critical compliance, and ensuring that you can confidently manage your requirements all from within one environment. Greenshades supports more than 4,000 clients and 2 million employees actively nationwide. We actually started about 23 years ago as the tax engine in Dynamics GP. So with that, we grew our experience, we added on to our solutions along the way. And so now we are bringing our expertise to more users such as Acumatica. Greenshades can be really valuable for those clients that are facing particularly complex compliance demands and/or growing HR and tax requirements. That's really where we cut our teeth, is that complexities and that tax compliance. So we'll talk a little bit more about that as we go along too. Greenshades is actually a cloud-based full HCM solution. So you can see here, we've got an overview of the modules that Greenshades offers. That includes payroll, HR, we'll talk a little bit more about HR, everything from employee self-service, employee onboarding, certification management and documents, to benefits management, ACA compliance, and then tax and compliance. So those automated payroll taxes, year-end forms that we just got out of year-end form season. Hopefully everybody got out of it. Hopefully there's no stragglers. And our managed payroll tax service. We also do have a time and labor management piece. For Acumatica users, very particularly, I do want to point out though, HR benefits and our tax compliance is what we're talking about today. That's where we have our more tightly integrated solutions to address those critical needs. For organizations that are looking for additional functionality, like I mentioned, we do offer payroll and time management services. However, currently those are not directly integrated with Acumatica today.
And some of that is because that payroll can be run in Acumatica, so it might be a choice if where you want to do that work and how you want to integrate.
Right. Yeah. Good point. And we'll cover that a little bit more as well. So I wanted to take just a few minutes and kind of talk through how Greenshades simplifies HR and tax data synchronization. That's a mouthful. To make sure that everything is seamless and efficient, right? That's what we're all about, is efficiency, focusing on what we need to focus on and not, the day in mundane manual tasks. So with Greenshades, critical data, company and employee data flow seamlessly between Acumatica and Greenshades with our integration. So things like company setup, your locations and your departments are synced, creating a unified structure. Employee data, such as direct deposit details, W-4s, benefits election, all of that can be managed in Greenshades and synced back to Acumatica so that you have a single source of truth. And then, of course, payroll tax compliance, your pay codes, deductions, benefits, all of that can flow also into Greenshades, enabling that data synchronization and compliance for accurate payroll tax reporting. Again, super important, accurate payroll taxes. So the integration not only reduces that manual effort, but it also gives you the accuracy and making sure that your processes are always up to date and compliant. And then you can focus on this more strategic initiatives rather than those administrative tasks. Oh, sorry, I skipped forward a little too, got a little excited. You know, HR, right, James, is a big part of what we do here at Greenshades. We really believe in empowering your workforce while reducing that burden on HR teams.
Yeah.
So, you know, the self-service portal, it allows employees to manage their personal information, their pay history, their complete onboarding, all digitally from a mobile-friendly platform. So not only enhances the employee experience, but frees up your HR team, again, away from those mundane or tactical initiatives and more strategic. Things like guided workflows, e-signature support, real-time access to data, pay stubs, and tax forms gives your employees the tools they need to thrive.
Yep.
By giving, yeah,
It's nice to have a portal that kind of gives your employees somewhere to go and they can look up their information and access it self-service. And we work to make it user-friendly.
right. That's so key. Not everybody is super tech savvy. We all have different things to log into, and remembering passwords and where to go and what to do. Having that user-friendly interface is so important for your workers. And then I lost my train of thought. But by giving them that autonomy, you're not just improving your efficiency, right? You're improving the experience for the worker themselves, for their satisfaction. And that again is really key, especially in today's job market, right? Making sure that that our workers are taken care of. And then let's talk about our complete payroll tax service. So managing taxes can be time consuming, complex. I personally don't like to think about it. I'm sure nobody really does. So Greenshades can really kind of try to help make this a little quicker and a little more painless for you. Greenshades payroll tax service, we extract the necessary information from your systems to create and file returns, calculate the payment frequency, automate those payments directly to government agencies. With a easy to use online portal, you can stay in control every step of the way. You can track upcoming deadlines, schedule payments or returns in advance, anything to fit your business needs to your schedule. We also provide dedicated tax expert to assist with this compliance and the accuracy. So you don't have to be the experts. That's where we can come in, which is huge. We have a lot of clients who rely on this to really make sure that they can focus on what they need to, but still get their taxes accurately and on time.
Yeah, and you mentioned we've been doing this for 23 years. That's kind of where we started, as the tax component of some ERP system. Was that right?
Right. Yeah, like I mentioned. So we actually started as tax compliance solely and inside of GP. That's really where we got our footing. And that's where, our expertise really lies. That's a piece that we like to think really sets us apart from some of our competitors is this service, is not only having that expertise, everything from the federal to the local levels, and that automation to make it easy for you, but then being backed by our tax expert that can kind of guide you and make sure that everything is accurate and on time. So yeah, that is our bread and butter, as I like to say. Point. So that's kind of overall a big picture about Greenshades and kind of how we think that we can help Acumatica users. So now I'm going to kind of turn it over to you, James, and really gonna let you show us all of the actual product and actually something to look at here. Let's dive into how Greenshades integrates with Acumatica.
Yeah, that sounds great. So this first image, we kind of look at how things can be configured to move data. So your company setup, maybe in your ERP solution, or you may want to do some of that in your Greenshade solution. You can configure locations and departments and classes. And some of that, even like where employees might come from an integration into your system of record. And so that can either be Acumatica through an ATS integration when you're going through recruiting. If those employees already exist, we can push them over so that they can use the portal. Or you can go into Greenshades and do it right within the instant. And then the employees can use the self-service HR portal to set their direct deposit information, upload their documents, and all of that will then get pushed over into Acumatica so that the admin and ERP systems can use that for calculating pay runs and that kind of thing. And then at the end of the pay runs, we're able to push that information about the deductions and benefits and pay records back into Greenshades to be able to take advantage of the tax service. Some of these, as we'll see later, can be configured different ways to kind of align with your business. But this is an example of how you may want to get started.
And just to clarify, that pay history, so that's really great for Acumatica payroll users, right? So if you are using Acumatica payroll, we have the integration that flows that information right through. So another kind of great piece for those of you that are doing your payroll inside of Acumatica today.
Yep.
Great.
So if we want to move on, you can see on this slide, we can look at an example of the integration and the ability to configure your integrations for particular use cases. And one example is maybe different people in the organization own different parts of that integration and they want to control what is happening and when data is pushed or not. So you can set up, all of the different parts of your Acumatica integration, which we'll look at in a few more screens to get into a little more detail. But it doesn't have to be one singular one that, if you have an issue or make an error on one, it doesn't have to necessarily impact everything. They can be broken out by objects.
That's nice, right? I don't want people breaking other people's stuff.
You don't want them breaking my stuff.
Yeah. And this is, sorry, go ahead. I was going to say, this is nice too. I know you and I were talking a little bit earlier. What's great about this with our integration hub, you have that ability to configure it yourself, right? So for anybody who's maybe used to using some of outsourced services and things, it's less tickets, it's less time. Like you can go in and directly manage this yourself, which is nice.
Yeah, good point.
All right.
Yeah, and so in the beginning of the integration, you can kind of set up who your users are, who the username and password, and then have client and ID secrets. And those can be configured for specific domains of knowledge. So you can make sure that you've got the right people accessing your information and being able to pull and push it the way that you expect. Let's go look at the next screen. We can start to get into how you configure where each of those types of data are sourced from. So in this example, that might be set up into the employees. The employees get created maybe from an integration from an ATS at onboarding. They can then be pushed over into Greenshades so that those employees can sign up. They can do their onboarding documentation, set up their dependents, set up their direct deposit, all that type of information, which then can be pushed back over. So I think the real thing is, the nice thing is you can kind of decide how you want, and we can change how you interact between Greenshades and Acumatica to kind of align with your business.
That's nice that you have that choice. Yeah.
So
pretty straightforward, right? Do you want to take a look at, that's kind of the setup. So
yeah, we thought we'd
show us a little bit about
what it looks like. So this is the Greenshades views. On the left, the administrator view, you can see what the admins see. So they are creating those employees, they're managing, and they can see their payroll and timesheets and times off, kind of all the things about that user. On the right side, you've got the employee view. So me as a Greenshades employee, when I was onboarding, I get into these screens, I put in all my information. I'm able to come back and go see what the answers to some of the questions I might not know, like which accounts I want to use or whatever it may be. And then I can enter it in here. And then it can be seen by both the admin and the employee. Let's go to the next one. The next one goes into some setup. So in this one, we're looking at employees and locations coming from Acumatica and us wanting to create departments and positions within the Greenshades infrastructure. So in this case, we create those departments and positions, and then those can be pushed over and go back with the employee data back into Acumatica, but all very configurable based on kind of your IT needs and resources.
Yeah. And that's really important to Greenshades. All across our platform, configurability, making sure that our clients and users have the ability to configure it the way that works for them. You're not forced into it needs to go this way and you need to change your processes, which I know, we hear from clients a lot that's really important. Everybody does things slightly different. Like you said, some might want that source of truth in Acumatica, want to do things in Acumatica. Some might, use Greenshades and have it flow the other way. So it's kind of nice. And that's a big key for us, is that configurability in our products.
Yeah, so I think our next slide looks at what kind of that is going to look like, where we have the information within Greenshades and it pushes over into Acumatica. So maybe the rest of the business needs to know what email to send to or what phone number to put on some documentation. That information is there where they work. So you may not have to have access to Greenshades for everybody in your company if they're working out of your Acumatica instance. That information is flowing back and forth.
Nice.
And hopefully it manages it in a single location, right? So you don't have to double entry. You want to just put it one place and let the integration take care of getting it in front of everybody else.
Right, for sure. And it's nice then, what I see about this too is then, you're showing the screen in Greenshades, right? So it goes back to that employee self-service, right? So if it's nice to know that your employees, if they change addresses, they want to change a phone number in the system, they can go in and access this directly themselves. So no more HR tickets needed, right? No more having to stop what you're doing and update an employee information. They can manage it all themselves there, which is nice too.
Yeah, that's great. Well, let's look at the next slide. This one, we're kind of looking in the Acumatica and some of the pay run information that is going to be lived there. In this scenario, running payroll within Acumatica, you can see all of the withholding, both state and federal, and both employer and employee taxes are detailed, which is information we can push over so that we can use the payroll tax service and know kind of what needs to be filed. But this is an example of the Acumatica side and all the detail that lives over there.
All right. And then?
Yeah, then that gets pushed back over so that both the admin, HR folks, or the employee can go see it. They can see their pay history. They can see their time off. They can see all of those accruals, all of those kinds of things, so that they have a place that is user-friendly.
Neat. And that's great. So yeah, again, great for the employees to be able to see if they want to go back and look at their pay history, look at their pay stubs. They have this here. And then, like you said, I think we're going to get into next, right? If you are pushing this data, if you do have Acumatica payroll and you're pushing this through, then it goes through to those tax services.
Yeah, that's right. You're basically, all that information is over here. And so you can see your state filings and your federal filings and do your W-2 filings, and with all of the information from your pay run. And then also there's even, errors if there's something that doesn't look right or something that's past due to help you stay on track.
And James, what if our users don't use Acumatica payroll, right? How does that work with payroll tax service?
Yeah. I mean, I think that there's a couple scenarios. One, if they need to get that information into Acumatica, it would flow, but also we have open APIs to share that information. As long as we get the right set of information to satisfy all of the different parts that our tax service needs to make sure you're on track, we can connect and get that information regardless of who's doing the payroll providing.
Great. Yeah. So you can still take advantage of the tax services and making sure that everything is paid on time and paid accurately with that expert advice of Greenshades payroll tax service folks.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. And kind of rounds out, right? Like, so your employees go in and put all of their information and their benefits and their withholding and locations of work that gets shared with the system. We get the payroll information and then can follow up with what the taxes need to be, both from a W-2 for the employee and also from a employer perspective on what's due when.
Right. Well, great. I actually feel like that we went through that really quickly. I know we only have about 5 minutes left. Our idea here was for the folks on the line is to just kind of give you a quick view, like you said, of who Greenshades is, kind of give you an idea of what that looks like and how we are able to, simplify your processes and give you some time back and, sync the data between your Acumatica, getting more life out of Acumatica with Greenshades. I'd love to prop up, as we kind of talk about, kind of do a quick recap. I'd love to prop up a poll today, just to get an idea for the folks on the webinar today. What are your next steps? Would love to just kind of know, is this something that looks like might be interesting for you and your organization? Would you like to schedule a call with someone here at Greenshades? Or if you're just here to learn, that's great too, obviously. And just let us know in that poll. Take a look as well. If you are interested just here to learn, we've dropped a couple of links into our resources in the Zoom platform. So be sure to take a look at that. We've got some great info to self-guide as well. Awesome. I'm going to leave that up for just another few seconds. We're going to scroll right past that. So, all right, James, let's kind of recap like you just did. So first, Greenshades, like we talked about, empowers your HR processes by streamlining those tasks like onboarding, self-service for your employees, making life easier both for your team and your employee. We also help stay ahead of compliance challenges with automated updates and tools that adapt to federal, state, local, all syncing with your Acumatica instance as well. The integration ensures that you have those data flows, giving you better visibility, better decision-making, so that at the end of the day, you can simplify your HR and tax compliance and focus on your growing business. That's really kind of the nuts and bolts of it. Did I miss anything?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I think it really is about being able to configure it and get the data in front of the people that need it when they need it.
Yeah. Well, great. Like I said, we wanted to just take about 30 minutes of your time. We have about, we're right at time pretty much. So thank you guys so much for joining us. Hopefully this was helpful for you, kind of give you a peek of, a starter of some Greenshades value to extend your Acumatica use. If you have any questions, you decide you would like to see a personalized demo, please don't hesitate to reach out and contact us and we'll get that scheduled. Appreciate your time. Enjoy watching those Olympics and we'll see you next time. Thanks so much.
That's great. Thanks, Mandy.